All right, let's get to a gentleman who's making some time for us this afternoon, and we're really appreciative, particularly with the long hours and, well, a lot of, I would think, a lot of fumes as well. Joey Alfieri's down at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good, Matt. How are you?
I'm well. How you feeling? A little dizzy from the fumes, or what?
No, you don't get too much of the fumes. I mean, with the hybrids, it's obviously a lot different. So there's not as much fume. You don't smell as much as the tires either. I mean, we're pretty sheltered in this media center or wherever we are. So I caught the first 20 laps on track level, but the rest of the race I watched in the media center, like I'm watching on TV from my couch.
Oh, nice and cozy, huh?
Oh yeah. It's a little chilly outside, but indoors there's some heating at least.
What was the thought of the weather today for the drivers? Do they like the cooler weather?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it definitely affected the strategy. I mean, you saw that. When it's warmer and when it's really hot on the track, the tires tend to, they need to be switched more often. And I think you saw Ferrari kind of underestimated how cool it was, I think, and they ended up going for the two-stop strategy. And that extra stop ended up costing them. Instead, Mercedes went with the one-stop with Lewis Hamilton. And he was able to drive the soft tires from lap 24 to 70 to the end of the race, essentially. And that's what carried him to victory. That was the difference.
Chatting with Joey Alfieri down at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's Game Points with Matthew Ross here. We're here until 7 o'clock. Now, Joey, are they going to have to, the other teams, are they going to have to gang up and kind of maybe file something with customs to prevent Lewis Hamilton from coming into Canada? His fifth Grand Prix win.
Yeah, and the scary part is, I mean, we were in the scrums yesterday after he got pole, and he obviously had the fastest lap of anyone throughout the weekend at that point, yesterday, and he said that he wasn't happy with his lap. It wasn't very clean. And that was the lap that got him pole position. So, obviously, he loves Canada. He says that he loves the track. And even when things aren't perfect, even when things don't necessarily always go his way, he still manages to pull out victories. And you saw today at the start, Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari had a great start, jumped from third all the way up to first. Hamilton had a disastrous start, absolutely terrible. And instead, Hamilton kept plugging away at it, and he ended up driving a near perfect race, and really rode to victory. Was tough, but simple when you don't make mistakes. So yeah, I mean, they should gang up together. Get some of the parts stopped at customs or something, because there's no stopping it.
Joey Alfieri joining us here on Game Points with Matthew Ross. Dave Trentadue here as well. I think you're familiar with him as well, Joey.
Never heard of him.
Hey, Joey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Long time no see.
I know.
Have you heard anything about what's going on with these upgrades that Montreal's supposed to have in place to the track by 2017? Work's yet to begin, but it seems as though Mayor Kader and Bernie Ecclestone have reached a handshake agreement. Was the F1 in Montreal really in jeopardy, or is it just a small disagreement?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this was just Bernie Ecclestone saying that they would have to rework the contract or whatever, because the renovations that were in the original contract signed that were supposed to be done by 2017 obviously aren't going to be done on time. Breaking news in Montreal. I know the construction isn't going to be done on time. Go figure. But it seems like they've spoken. They've had an agreement in place. They had a handshake agreement in place. They couldn't necessarily divulge what the new plan was. But they did say that there would be an announcement from now to the end of July. So it doesn't seem like the Canadian Grand Prix is going anywhere anytime soon. So the contract ends in 2024, and it looks like they're going to stay there until 2024 at the very least.
Now, Joey, I heard honking in the background. What lap are you on?
This, honestly, for me, Matt, this is hour probably 50 from Thursday to Sunday. So I guess I'm on lap 75 of 70 here. So just wrapping things up, but it's been a lot of fun. You can't complain.
Now, Joey, who do you think is the most disappointed team or driver from this weekend?
Yeah, I think it has to be Nico Rosberg. I think he's the guy who's he's leading the Drivers' Championship right now at this point after winning the first 4 races, but it's 3 races in a row that he hasn't won now. And he's a guy who started in second today, and after a poor start from Hamilton ended up bumping him on the first turn, kind of sent Rosberg into a bit of a tailspin, and it dropped him all the way down to 9th. Now, he was able to make up a few positions. He got as high as 5th. That's where he finished. But that's a guy now, 3 straight, after winning 4 straight Grand Prix to open the season, it's 3 straight where he comes up short. So that's one guy, I think, for me, and even in the scrums post-race, he was definitely disappointed. So that's for me, that's the number one guy who stands out.
How did the weather affect the crowd's participation or enjoyment or it being a factor at all today?
Hey, you know what, man? I thought it was a good crowd. It was still a good crowd, especially Montreal standards. I don't have to tell you that if there's a cloud in the sky, there's a good chance that a whole bunch of people who pay for tickets won't show up. But you know what? I thought the crowd was good. I thought there was a lot of people throughout the entire weekend, considering how cold it was. So chapeau to Montreal. I was impressed because it is chilly, and we are on the water here at Ile Saint-Laurent. So it's even colder. The wind gusting was it was terribly cold today. I'll tell you. Waiting outside for the scrums took about 45 minutes, and it took me a while to thaw. It was it was cold. So credit to all the people who came out because it wasn't easy to stick around.
Joey, go home, get some rest, relax, and pretend it all never happened. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it.
Hey, no worries. Anytime, Matt.
Good talking to you, Joey.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.